Now there's red and blue ticks all in the south. Love got me in here, love got me out. Hey guys, it's Bobi, aka Paginator, and we are doing our March TBR game today. Before I jump into the rules, I do want to bring up something with all of you. My TBR games usually get quite a bit of views, more than some of my other videos, and very few comments. I mean, I really appreciate those of you who do comment or hit the like button, but I feel like this is a lot of work, and I would appreciate maybe a comment or two from some of you who haven't commented before. It helps other people see my content, and it also gives me a chance to interact with other readers, which is really why I like the comments in the first place, because I love replying and having little conversations in the comments. So drop a comment, let me know if you've read any of the books that come up, or what you're planning on reading in the month of March, or what you've been reading lately. All right, welcome to my messy craft desk, and let's get into the rolls. We'll start with the blue pie in the middle, and here's roll number 1. 1. Any color I want, and I kind of want to go pink YA. Let's pull a card. Branches or trees on the cover. All right, roll number 1 got us YA with branches or trees on the cover. And I really want to get to this book this month, so I'm going to go with 4 Ruined Realms by Mai Corland. There are some tree branches here and some like kind of woven around in here. And because this is a sequel, I will be reading the synopsis for the first one. I'll do that with any sequels that come up during this game today. So this is the sequel to 5 Broken Blades, and the synopsis from Goodreads says the following thing. The king of Yusan must die. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the god King June. He has it coming. Yes, he really does. Under his merciless immortal hand, the nobles flourish while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the 5 blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness, from the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. None can resist the sweet, icy lure of vengeance. They can agree on murder, they can agree on treachery, but for these 5 killers, each versed in deception, lies, and betrayal, it's not enough to forge an alliance. To survive, they'll have to find a way to trust each other, but only one can take the crown. Let the best liar win. This book was told from different point of view of all 5 of these people, and I absolutely loved the first one, so I'm very excited to get into the second one. Roll number 2. 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4 to orange. Miscellaneous. Any genre, any age category, and we have dark cover. Roll number 2 got us a miscellaneous with a dark cover, and another book that I really have to get to this month because I might die if not is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Look at this, look at this. We've got dark colors up here. This is a little bit lighter down here, but that's okay. Yes, I have loved this series so far. It's the 4th Wing series, and so because this is the 3rd book, once again I'm going to be reading the synopsis of the first one, which is 4th Wing. If you're involved in the book community, you probably already know at least the idea of what 4th Wing is, but I'm going to read the synopsis anyway. 20-year-old Violet Sorengale was supposed to enter the Scribe Quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her toughest Helen's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre, dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans. They incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. Xaden. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly, the kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Great characters, both human and dragon, in this series, and I'm super excited to get back into the 3rd book. Roll number 3. 2. 1, 2 yellow, 1, 2 pink. Let's go for a yellow fantasy. POC author. Roll number 3 got us a fantasy with a Roll number 3 got us a fantasy by a POC author, and I'm going to go with Fire by Destiny Soria. She is South Asian, I believe, and our synopsis tells us, what if the story we've been told about dragons is wrong? Danny and Eden Rivera were born to kill dragons, but that's the only thing the sisters have in common. For Danny, dragon slaying takes a backseat to everyday high school life. For Eden, slaying is her life. Yet they both agree on one thing. Where dragons are concerned, it's kill or be killed. That is, until Danny actually meets a dragon and ends up forging a rare and magical soul bond with him. As they grow closer, she begins to question everything she thought she knew. Suddenly, the one thing Eden and Danny always agreed on is the one thing that could tear their world apart. With Danny lost to the wrong side, Eden knows she'll have to risk everything to bring her sister back from the edge, even turning to the mysterious and alluring sorcerers for help. Now on the opposite ends of an impending war, the sisters will do whatever it takes to save the other. But the two are playing with magic that's more dangerous than they can imagine, and there is another more powerful enemy waiting for them both in the shadows. Roll number 4. 4. How did that happen? 1, 2, 3, 4 pink, 1, 2, 3, 4 pink. Decisions are the worst. Subscription box book. Rule number 4 is a young adult subscription book box, and I am going to pick this beautiful thing right here, Song of the Six Realms by Judy I. Lin. It says, Shu, a talented young musician, has no past and probably no future. Orphaned at a young age, she was taken in by her kindly poet uncle, who arranged for an apprenticeship at one of the most esteemed entertainment houses in the kingdom. She doesn't remember much from before entering the House of Flowing Water, and when her uncle is suddenly killed in a bandit attack, she is devastated to lose her last connection to a life outside of her indenture contract. With no family and no patron, she was facing the possibility of a lifetime of servitude, playing the chin for nobles that praise her talent with one breath and sneer at her lowly social status with the next. Then one night she is unexpectedly called to the garden to put on a private performance for the enigmatic Duke Meng. For a young man of nobility, he is strangely kind and awkward, and surprises Shu further with an irresistible offer. Serve as a musician in residence at his manor for just 3 years, and he'll set her free of her indenture. But the Duke's motives become increasingly more suspect when he and Shu barely survive an attack by a nightmarish monster, and when he whisks her away to his estate, she discovers he's not just some country noble, he's one of the divine rulers of the celestial realm. There she learns that the 6 realms are on the brink of disaster, and incursions by demonic beasts are growing more frequent. The Duke needs Shu's help to unlock memories from her past that could hold the answers to how to stop the impending war, but first Shu will need to survive being the target of every monster and deity in the 6 realms. Let's take a look at the end papers on this because, I mean, gorgeousness. Roll number 5. 3. 1, 2, 3 yellow, 1, 2, 3 brown. Let's go for a brown realistic. And we have romance. So a realistic romance. Roll number 5 got us a realistic romance, and I'm going to get one of my Book of the Month previous picks from off the shelf. We have The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. Emma Wheeler desperately longs to be a screenwriter. She spent her life studying, obsessing over, and writing romantic comedies, good ones, that win contests, but she's also been the sole caregiver for her kind-hearted dad who needs full-time help. Now when she gets a chance to rewrite a script for the famous screenwriter Charlie Yates, her personal writing god, it's a break too big to pass up. Emma's younger sister steps in for dad duty, and Emma moves to LA for 6 weeks for the writing gig of a lifetime. But what is it they say? Don't meet your heroes? Charlie Yates doesn't want to write with anyone, much less a failed nobody screenwriter. Worse, the romantic comedy he's written is so terrible it might actually bring on the apocalypse. Plus, he doesn't even care about the script, it's just a means to get a different one greenlit. Oh, and he thinks love is an emotional Ponzi scheme. Wow. But Emma's not going down without a fight. She will stand up for herself and for rom-coms and for love itself. She will convince Charlie that love stories matter, even if she has to kiss him senseless to do it. But what if that kiss is accidentally amazing? What if real life turns out to be so much more real than fiction? What if the love story they're writing breaks all of Emma's rules and comes true? Roll number 6. 3. 1, 2, 3 pink, 1, 2, 3 orange. We've already got 2 pinks, so let's go for an orange. And crap. play your TBR right, Gavin. We had to do this last month too, and I lost. Cross your fingers for me. Rule number 6, we've got to play your TBR right. So I'm going to move the camera over to the shelf and we'll get going. So here's the book that I want to read less. So if I lose the game, I have to read this one. And if I win the game, I get to read this one because I want to read it more. Let's set up our 5 cards. We do a shuffle. I already shuffled them a couple of times, but we'll give them a little bit of a mix anyway. And we'll put them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. If you haven't seen Play Your TBR Right before, check out Gavin Reads It All's channel. He used to do this all the time for his TBR. And here we go. First card. Ooh, 9 of hearts. Okay, is it going to be higher or lower than 9? I could lose right on this this first one. Okay, I'm going to say lower than a 9. Don't fall over. Ooh, 7. Okay, 7. 7. Okay. Higher or lower than a 7? Do I want to swap? I'm allowed 1 swap. Do I want to use it? No. Let's go higher than a 7. Jack. Ooh. Oh, hallelujah. Okay. Higher or lower than a jack? The safest bet would be lower because there's not much higher than a jack, but what if it's like one of those cards that is, and then I totally screw it up? Okay, let's go lower than a jack. Oh, okay, 4. Oh, similar situation. There's not much that's lower than a 4, but it could be higher than a 4. Higher than a 4. Dang it! Resituating here. I don't know if you can tell, but Sheldon's laughing at me back there. Rude. 2 losses in a row for this game. And again, it's not that I don't want to read this one, it's just I'd rather read the other one, which has been sitting on my shelf for ages, The Bridge Kingdom. But anyway, we have this one, A Little Bit Country by Brian D. Kennedy. Let's read the back. Emmett McGuire wants to be country music's biggest gay superstar, a far reach when you're 17 and living in Illinois. But for now, he's happy to do the next best thing. Stay with his aunt in Jackson Hollow, Tennessee for the summer and perform at the amusement park owned by his idol, country legend Wanda Jean Stubbs. An amusement park owned by a country idol? Are we thinking about Dollywood? Luke Barnes hates country music. Rude. As the grandson of Verna Rose, the disgraced singer who had a famous falling out with Wanda Jean, Luke knows how much pain country music has brought his family. Okay, I get it. But when his mom's medical bills start piling up, he takes a job at the last place he wants, a restaurant at Wanda World. Neither boy is looking for romance, but sparks fly when they meet, and soon they're inseparable. Until a long-lost secrets about Verna and Wanda comes to light, threatening to unravel everything. Will Emmett and Luke be able to get past the truths they discover, or will their relationship go down in history as just another sad country love song? This could be the very last country song. Swap this out and go for roll number 7. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brown. We have 2 pinks already, so let's go for another realistic. We haven't got any blues or greens yet. I'm concerned. Okay, 5-star prediction. Realistic 5-star prediction. Roll number 7. A realistic 5-star prediction. This was tricky because most of my 5-star predictions are fantasy. Now, I found one that's a thriller, and I looked on Goodreads to see if there was any suggestion that was anything unrealistic about this book, and I don't know, I can't find anything that suggests that it's supernatural or anything like that. So we're going to go with Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I have absolutely adored everything I've read by Riley Sager, although some of them have kept me up late because I've been scared of having nightmares. So, let's read the synopsis. The worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home. Plagued by bad dreams and insomnia, he begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank? Or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night, a quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors and leads him into the woods that surround Hemlock Circle, woods where Billy claimed ghosts roamed and where a mysterious institute does clandestine research on a crumbling estate. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present.
Roll number 8.
2. 1, 2 green, 1, 2 brown. Let's go for green middle grade.
Let's go for the top card. Middle grade supernatural.
Roll number 8, a middle grade supernatural. This is Bridge of Souls by V.E. Schwab. It is the 3rd book in a series, so you know what that means. We're going to read about the first one. And the first one is City of Ghosts. This one says, ever since Cass almost drowned, okay, she did drown, but she doesn't like to think about it, she can pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead and enter the world of the spirits. Her best friend is even a ghost. So things are already pretty strange, but they're about to get much stranger. When Cass's parents start hosting a TV show about the world's most haunted places, the family heads off to Edinburgh, Scotland. Here, graveyards, castles, and secret passageways teem with restless phantoms, and when Cass meets a girl who shares her gift, she realizes how much she still has to learn about the veil and herself. And she'll have to learn fast. The City of Ghosts is more dangerous than she ever imagined. After City of Ghosts is Tunnel of Bones, and that one is set in Paris. And then we go to this one, which is Bridge of Souls, and we're in New Orleans.
Roll number 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pink. Let's go back this way. Pink.
YA, a book that keeps tempting you.
Roll number 9, we got YA, a book that keeps tempting you, and this is another chunky one. I have a lot of chunky books this month. We have A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. London, 1923. Dragons soar through the skies and protests erupt on the streets, but Vivian Featherswallow isn't worried. She's going to follow the rules and get an internship studying dragon languages. By midnight, Viv has started a civil war. With her parents arrested and her little sister missing, all the safety Viv has worked for is collapsing around her. So when a lifeline is offered in the form of a mysterious job, she grabs it. Arriving at Bletchley Park, Viv discovers that she has been recruited to uncover the secrets of a hidden dragon language. If she succeeds, she and her family can all go home again. If she doesn't, they'll all die. Pressure. But the more Viv learns, the more she realizes that the bubble she's grown up in isn't as safe as she thought, and eventually she must decide, what war is she really fighting?
Roll number 10.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green. Let's go back to green. Middle grade.
Adventure.
Roll number 10, we have a middle grade with an adventure, and I have been wanting to read this book for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages, and I'm finally going to get to it. We have The Highland Falcon Thief, which is the first in a series by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. Welcome to the final journey of the Highland Falcon. When 11-year-old Harrison Hal Beck is forced to accompany his travel writer uncle on the historic last journey of a royal train, he expects a boring trip spent away from video games and his friends. But then Hal spots Lenny, a girl who should not be on board, and he quickly makes friends with the stowaway. Things get even more interesting when the royal prince and princess board for the last leg of the journey. The princess's diamond necklace is stolen and replaced with a fake. Suspicion soon falls on the one person who isn't supposed to be on the train, Lenny. It's up to Hal, with his keen observation and skill as a budding sketch artist, to uncover the real jewel thief, clear his friend's name, and return the diamond necklace before the Highland Falcon makes its last stop. So I heard about this first from Gavin at Gavin Reads It All, and he read quite a few books in the series and really enjoyed them, so I am excited to get to this.
Roll number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue. Yay, we haven't gotten a blue yet. Okay, blue blank can be any genre, any age category, just like the orange. And we have wild card. Well, wide open then.
Roll number 11, we got blue blank and a wild card. So I just grabbed a book that I've been really wanting to read. And this is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. There is power in a book. They call them the wayward girls, loose girls, girls who grow up too fast, and they're sent to the Wellwood House in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. 15-year-old Fern arrives at the home of in the sweltering summer of 1970, pregnant, frightened, and alone. Under the watchful eye of the stern Miss Wellwood, she meets a dozen other girls in the same predicament. There's Rose, a hippie who insists she's going to find a way to keep her baby and escape to a commune. And Zinnia, a budding musician who plans to marry her baby's father. And Holly, a wisp of a girl, barely 14, mute and pregnant by no one knows who. Everything the girls eat, every moment of their waking day, and everything they're allowed to talk about is strictly controlled by the adults who claim they know what's best for them. Then Fern meets a librarian who gives her an occult book about witchcraft, and power is in the hands of the girls for the first time in their lives. But power can destroy as easily as it creates, and it's never given freely. There's always a price to be paid, and it's usually paid in blood. I heard about that book on the channel The Daunties, which is typically a Disney channel, but they have been reading more and more, and they were talking about this book. Donna, one of the hosts of that channel, was an unwed mother herself, and she talked about how personally it touched her. And she had heard that Grady Hendrix also had a female relative that had been through something similar, of course not with the witchcraft part, but the teen pregnancy and stuff. And it just seemed like an intriguing idea, like an interesting way to give these girls power that they hadn't had before. Because being that age and then in that situation, everything's decided for them, and that must have been like terrifying.
Last roll. 2. 1, 2 green, 1, 2 yellow. We've only got one yellow today, so let's go back to the yellow. And what shall we get? A Gryffindor recommendation. So I'm going to have to get online and see what I can find there. Fun.
And roll number 12, we got another fantasy, and this one is a Gryffindor recommendation. So I got online and looked at some different Gryffindor recommendation lists, and I found this book, which I happen to have on my shelves that I haven't read yet, of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. And, oh, I got papers, Fairy Loot papers falling out, or maybe Owlcrate, some subscription box papers falling out. 18-year-old, oh gosh. Aihui Ying dreams of becoming a world-class engineer like her father, but after his unexpected murder, a heartbroken Ying is determined to discover why anyone would threaten a man who ultimately chose a quiet life over fame and fortune. Left with only a journal of her father's engineering secrets and a jade pendant snatched from the assassin, Ying follows the trail to the capital in the prestigious Engineers Guild, a place that harbors her father's hidden past. Disguised as her brother, Ying manages to infiltrate the male-only apprenticeship trial with the help of an unlikely ally, Aojia Yang, the nation's taciturn 8th prince. With her father's renown placing a target firmly on her back, Ying must stay one step ahead of her fellow competitors, the jealous guild masters, and the killer still hunting for her father's journal. Complicating everything is her increasingly tangled relationship with the prince, who has mysterious plans of his own. The secrets hidden within the guild can be as deadly as the weapons they build, and with her life and the country's future at stake, Ying doesn't know who to trust. And can she avenge her father if it means going against everything he stood for? All right, we're going to attempt to pick up all the books. Holy cow, that's a lot. Okay, so I do have spring break in the month of March, and another trip that I'm probably going to be taking with students. It's kind of a decide if I'm going at this point, but anyway, that will help give me some more time to read. But yeah, I've got a lot of reading to do, so I don't have time to waste. I'm going to cut this video off. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.